All right, blue-green ramp. This is a build-around submission for UGin the Spirit Dragon. This is a reprint in M21. I expect this card will see play in both Historic and possibly Standard as well. Very powerful piece of top end. Comes in with 7 loyalty and minus X's to exile every permanent with converted mana cost equal to X or less. That's 1 or more colors. So it basically just resets the board. The baseline of this deck has one plan. You'll note that we have 10 1-drops that accelerate us. We've got 7 3-drops that accelerate us. We've got 7 5-drops that accelerate us. We're not looking to play even costed spells early on. We're going 1, 3, 5, or 1, 1, 5. We're looking to ramp up and play UGin and Ulamog ahead of curve. We've got a couple of Voracious Hydras here and a couple of Hydroid Krasis, since I wanted to splash blue for Uro anyways. Out of the sideboard, we've got Dispute and Aether Gust with our blue splash. We've got Brontodon and Return to Nature to interact with artifacts and enchantments. And then we've got some Viviens here as some extra card advantage in the control matchups. Do I have a borderless Return to Nature? I feel like I do. I do. Silly Magic Arena not defaulting to my borderless cards. Will M22 bring Triad-Lands to Historic? I hope not. Let's go ahead and pop it into some matches here with this ramp deck and see how it goes. When I see this deck, go turn 1 Elves, turn 2, 3 more Elves, turn 3 UGin. That's not possible, right? You'd have 4... No, that's not possible. Math doesn't work out that way. Massacre Worm is bugged on Moto, so they removed it from boosters and banned it until they can fix it. Sounds like Magic Online. Imagine testing your sets before you release them. Massacre Worm was already on Magic Online. Magic Online is a spaghetti mess of code. So they probably just assumed it worked and didn't run tests on the cards in the new set. Would be my guess. Alright, we're gonna put us right to the test to start. Looks like an Nexus of Fate matchup. I think the opponent's archetype is the best deck in this format. I think with the banning of Winota, this deck is likely the best thing you can be doing. Actually, a really good pickup here. Be able to cast her next turn. Was Wall of Roots ever fixed? Of course not. Is Thassa going to intervene here? Feels like Thassa might be intervening. That's fine. Getting them to burn that on a card of ours instead of drawing is a fine exchange for us. Putting still a couple of cards off of Escaping Uro, so that's nice. We're 3 lands away, 3 mana sources away from casting UGin here. We've got Cavalier of Thorns, plus a land drop for next turn. So if we draw a land the following turn, we can potentially stick UGin in 2. Sorry, I assumed my Cavalier of Thorns was gonna hit a land in my 26 land deck. Hey, sorry, I apologize to everybody for assuming my Cavalier of Thorns is gonna hit a land. Welcome to the Thunderdome. I'm on Windows, Bond. I would imagine that Lutris is probably going to have some issues. I believe they moved to a 64-bit version of Magic Arena with this update. So I imagine there's going to be some finagling to get it to work under wine. The red black deck was good. I'm not sure that it will be better than the more mid-rangey build that's more aggressive, but we won games with it. It was good against creature decks for sure. Unsurprisingly. Alright, UGin's gonna be very good here. Do you think ramp will finally be a viable strategy? Yes, ramp has really struggled in recent memory, so I think a ramp strategy could finally break through in Magic with this latest set release.
Accept the lesser world, and you will grow lost to history.
You got it. I have been fogged. Depth Safarium, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right, do I get another turn or are we dead? They just conceded? Really? I guess we take those. Maybe they had something to do in real life. She's doing well, Jaquan. She's doing well. In. Yeah, that's what you love to see. Turn 1 ramp, turn 2 cultivate. Turn 3 5-drop. Let's do it. So cultivate grabs us 2 basics, 1 for our hand, 1 for the battlefield. Let's play a ramp mirror again. Do, 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 do. Yeah, the constellation sleeves aren't new. Well, I'll give you a hint, Andrew. If it was early access, I wouldn't have access to the cards. Athero, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, I think I just like Giant Hydra here. I guess I probably want to eat one of their things, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna kill the Atris. They'll eat something with the ooze, and then they'll probably casualties, kill Hydra, kill a breeding pool next turn. There's one more total creature in a graveyard. Two more once they kill this. They're attacking us for 6 here. Really need to find something meaningful. UGin, easily the best draw in the deck. 4, 5. I guess we only have 6 mana left now, though. No, they did half address it, Andrew. They did actually address, they did half address the reprint nonsense. Gilger Lucas 6. I know, I was shocked too. Just for reference, I was also surprised. Can they ooze Cavalier before it exiles itself? They can. What do they do? If you have 4 copies of a card already that's a rare, and you open a copy of that rare, you don't open those rares until the end of your packs. So if you already have 4 temples, you're not going to open more temples until you have every other rare in the set. So, yeah, they have to be the same artwork. If they're a rare in the same artwork, which that applies to all of the rares that are reprints here. So I said they half addressed it. Exile some Scavenging Oozes here. Game Ender. I mean, they're very likely just gonna have like a Murderous Rider or another Casualties of War here, and then UGin's not a big deal. I mean, their half-baked solution means if you're someone that completes your playsets of cards anyways, you're still getting screwed. You still have to open more copies of those cards, you just don't open them till the end. So really their solution's pretty bad because, like, their solution means whales get screwed, and in reality, you should always prioritize your solutions to make the nicest experience for your biggest spenders. So, like, again, what we got is better than nothing, but, like, it's, like, pretty far from, like, good or ideal, I think. It's a fine short-term solution. I'm glad they did what they did as opposed to doing nothing. Have to go ahead and exile Uro here, smack you for 5.
Creation can be undone.
Why would whales buy more cards? They handle it because they need mythic rares, Allure. Mythic rares are always the bottleneck for whales. You always have plenty of rare wild cards, you need more mythics.
I learned much today.
6, 7, 8, 9. Not enough to cast Ulamog yet. Can, however, just get UGin back. Shathik, thank you for the 1.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Don't worry, just like the vault, I'm sure this is a temporary solution, right? I've talked about this on stream before. I actually don't mind that there's not a dusting system in Arena. I think dusting systems in general tend to be a little bit predatory. They encourage people to make bad decisions. Do I plus this and leave myself dead to a removal spell? Oh, I just don't play Grazer. That's interesting. Yeah, I like that. And then we're not dead to removal. They have a scry here. So, like, they can dig for, like, a Murderous Rider or whatever they have to kill this. Bottoms up. I think in general, Andrew, that, like, again, I think that the current arena design model, while what you're describing is better for people that want that first deck, it discourages more spending overall and encourages people to make bad impulse decisions. Oh, I'm obligated to do this? Is that what you said? I believe you are correct. I am legally obligated. I believe I am in fact legally obligated to downtick the UGin. You love to see it. Listen, I don't make the rules, chat. You're not allowed to kill them with the +2 if you could draw 7 and gain 7. It's not allowed. Alright, so what are we doing here? Voracious Hydra probably comes out. I think this is a Vivien matchup. Probably trim a couple of my dorks at the bottom end. I don't think this is an Aether Gust matchup. They do have Casualties of War and Uro, though. Let's just try this. This is fantastic again here. Turn 1 Elf, turn 2 Cultivates. Basically our nut draw. It's everything we want to be doing in this deck. So, this gets us 2 lands, 1 to our hand, 1 to play. I lead on this because they're pretty likely to have a removal spell. So we have 6, 7 mana total here. If they attack, I'm going to trade Cavalier of Thorns. Dealer's choice. Welcome to Thunderdome. Ramp, 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 ramp. Find me IRL. Thank you for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. It's keeping me around. Crunch. Maybe a ramp deck will finally be playable, huh?
I come bearing the wisdom of the ancients. Consider this a warning.
The old aggro UGin.
What
7, 8. This'll get us to Bulldog next turn. If we hit an untapped land here, we get to escape our own. Texas governor announced the pausing of reopening of business and institutions today. Thank God. Rabner, thanks for 37 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That is definitely what needs to happen in a lot of states in the United States right now. I missed a point with the elves. I did. You're right. Oh, this is lethal. That's sad. I was gonna make a big Krasis. But... Lara Caluin, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Is someone planning a wedding? This is stressful. I am not a medical doctor, and this is not official advice. But if you're in the United States, I would not expect to have a wedding with a bunch of people anytime in the next year or so. We are almost, this is our gatekeeper chat. This is our Diamond 4 rank floor matchup. I think I mulligan this. I'm gonna keep it. It might be merit to mulliganing for a 1-mana Accelerant in the dark. I don't know, especially on the draw. If they're a slower deck, though, turn 3 Uro's probably fine. Yeah, it's probably realistic for Smith. Yeah, I'm not intending to play Standard until rotation happens in the fall. Flying Tempest. While there will probably be a couple of brief weeks of people trying to explore other things on the Standard ladder, I expect Standard to be more of the Teferi Wilderness Reclamation same that it's been forever. Yeah, I agree, Pelly. Having knowledge to mulligan before you play your first game is a big skill factor. The control deck was fine. Probably has a bad Nexus matchup, but was okay against the creature deck, so probably largely comes down to how much Nexus is going to end up in the format. Yeah, I agree, Jakan. That was something I really liked about Companions too. Big agree. You are not going to escape Nexus of Fate. It's just not, you're not going to be able to. The deck, like Wilderness Reclamation decks are like good. This is probably the card that shouldn't be legal. This is the same card that's like screwing up Standard right now. Like this card was a mistake. I actually think this card's more offensive than Fires of Invention. You can feel free to disagree with that. That's super subjective, but I would much rather play against Fires than Wilderness Reclamation, and it's not close. Yes, Fires was easier to interact with. Big agree. Are we the bad guy today? Nope, there are no Nexus of Fates in my deck. Anyone not playing this card is the hero in this format. Reclamation and Teferi are the bad guy in every format right now. Heroic Intervention is permanence, isn't it? That's so gross. That's so gross. I will be very curious to see if the opponent's archetype is allowed to remain legal. For the Invitational in the fall. When was the last time we played against Field of the Dead? It's been a long time. Field of the Dead's not very good. Does not have a good Nexus of Fate matchup. Yeah, this archetype is a big part of why they banned Nexus in Best of One.
No, I noted this somewhere.
Alright, if we get a turn here, we get to play UGin and exile everything. Do we get a turn? They get another redraw. These cards land. Is this Nexus of Fate? Yeah, the Invitational in the fall is historic. Bring in a bunch of interaction. Drag our curve down a little bit. Plan to win with Nissa and UGin, ideally. Alright, Sand's very good and we're on the play. Yeah, but at least Tron, like, actually kills you, whereas Nexus just, like, kind of mopes around. I saw that 10-ton hammer. It's also worth noting, though, that, like, they've counted, like, less than a quarter of the ballots, though. And they won't count a majority of them until the 30th, when all the absentee ballots are in. So it's definitely a little bit too early to celebrate, for sure. In the defense of the neoliberal centrist from Kentucky, both her and her progressive opponent filed injunctions to help keep the polls open for people. So there definitely was voter suppression in Kentucky, but both of the Democratic candidates fought against that. Worth noting.
Nature's true power.
All right, we get to Mystic Dispute whatever they cast here, and then we have exactly 13 next turn with another another Nissa land. All right, it's kind of exactly how we drew it up, huh? There has been record voter turnouts at basically every point of these elections, Jaquan. Almost every primary has had 08 or higher than 08 numbers. Like, a lot of progressives were complaining about Biden and complaining that, like, the DNC picked Biden and all this crap, but, like, the voters picked Biden. Voters turned out in droves in lots of places to elect him. Please bump voter turnout by 5 points, thank you. Woo, that's great. I would if I could, Hippity. I would if I could. Made me chuckle. Is Hippity not a mod? He should be. Alright, yep. Doesn't have a counterspell, but basically exactly what we want. Elf, Cultivate, Nissa. Go, go, go. God, that's rude. Get as many forests as possible here so we can UGin with this Nissa. Yeah, the problem with people not wearing masks getting COVID is that masks are supposed to protect other people from you. So, like, when people aren't wearing masks and they're getting COVID, that means they're hurting other people around them. I want idiots to wear masks because idiots wearing masks helps protect immunocompromised and other people in at-risk categories from getting sick. Like, I'm all for people who are incredibly stupid getting their just desserts, but, like, that's not it. They're hurting other people. They're not just hurting themselves. That's why you can chuckle at flat earthers, right? Like, flat earthers are incredibly stupid, but their stupidity doesn't really hurt other people. Whereas, like, when ignorant people refuse to wear masks, they're hurting and literally killing other people. It's very frustrating and sad. Jacob the Cosmos, thanks for the quarter of the year. Yeah, I'm excited to dip into some 1.4 Runeterra patch today, too. That is a fantastic draw. I'm gonna untap this so I have as much mana as possible in case they have Thassa's intervention here. Thanks, Gannon. I'm like 90% sure these are colorless.
More data will be needed.
Nailed it.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
I didn't live through hell to lose balance.
Cause we're planes walking. Do do do. Do do do. Goose here. Nice jump blocker to keep UGin alive. The bright side, our opponent can't Elder Spell. Accurate. Sick. Diamond 4 rank floor chat. Feels like home. Feels like home. Now we meme. I mean, I'm not really worried about my rank. This will probably be one of the months I don't bother to hit Mythic. There's really no upside to hitting Mythic. Getting to Diamond means I get to start at Gold instead of starting at Silver, though, next season, so... Not that next season really matters, either. You live in Germany right now, and it's mandatory to wear masks indoors and on public transport, but loads of people are flouting the rules. I can't figure out if it's comforting or not that there's stupid, ignorant people like that in other countries, too. I think I'm mulliganing this. Like, we want a dork or two in our opener, but 5, especially a Grazer without extra lands, is pretty bad. This hand would obviously love a 1-mana dork on 1, but I think this is a keep at 6. This card is sweet. I need to revisit. We're gonna revisit Mono White Life Gain. They got a couple of cards in this new set, including this. This one is very sweet. Could just be dead before we do much here. Yeah, we don't have time to dick around in a matchup like this. This is basically an UGin or bust matchup. You know, honestly, Voracious Hydra sounds fine. I think this is mostly just a click submit matchup. You want to put in a Hydra, trim an Ulawag? This is mostly just all about getting to UGin ASAP. Arena deck submissions are 25, rip in peace. I'm being a little bit more selective about things I'm taking. As always, if you have an idea you'd like to see explored that you're willing to pay for, you can submit it using the form on my site, and I'll get back to you in a day or two. Is Thrashing Brontodon good enough for blocking? Maybe. Maybe. So, we're on the play, and UGin is just good enough in this matchup that I think, like, guaranteed turn 6 UGin is a keep. On the draw, I would pause and maybe not keep this, but I think on the play, this is fine. I am doing well, Cellform. Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Perfect, Wargeese. Sounds good. And this might not even be good enough here. So, like, this is 5, 6. I think we're dead next turn, right? I think we're just gonna be dead here. I haven't done the math. We'll let them attack. This is actually exactly 13, right? Now it's 14. Yeah, solid turn 4 kill for the opponent here. White aggressive deck is very reasonable when you're not playing against Wilderness Reclamation. Its Nexus matchup is hard. A bump for Shen Fiora. Sounds good, Jake. I'll get that added in after I'm done streaming today. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, the good aggro decks having turn 4 kills when they're not interacted with at all, I think is good. I think that's reasonably healthy. Big agree, Kenneth. I'm really interested to see what happens in the next Hoaglandia Open. Actually, I think there's also, the Mythic Society is a group that does a lot of tournaments on... I think they're called Mythic Society. There's a group that does a bunch of tournaments on Magic, on MTG Melee. And I believe they're doing a historic tournament this weekend. Yeah, we're really good at playing a 5-mana spell on turn 3. Our deck's got a lot of acceleration. We have a date for the next 2 weeks. Yes, July 18th. If you're interested in playing in the next Hoaglandia Open, it'll be happening on July 18th. Sign-ups are not available yet, but when they are available, it's going to have a $6 entry fee. And that entry fee is going to be largely pumped back into the prize support. I talked with Cool Stuff Inc. to figure out what they were willing to do in terms of price support, and if we fill that event with 256 players, it will pay out like $1,700 in Cool Stuff Inc. store credit. I believe is the dollar amount it works out to. They agreed to have prizes scale so we could pay out based on entry fee, which is great. That was something I really wanted to have happen. Maybe at some point down the line, Jake, but not in the short term. Yeah, quite possibly, Thriss. We'll see where that content goes and what the popularity's like. It'll depend on what subs are interested in. Hey, look, it was my opponent's turn to do nothing and die. We just put them on Reclamation, right? And we board accordingly. They didn't show us Reclamation there, but we could probably assume. If I was a gambling man and I was given the option to put money on who was going to have Spectator first, Runeterra, or Magic Arena, I would 100% put money on Runeterra. Would be incredibly surprised if Arena has a Spectator mode before Runeterra does. Yep. For people that haven't been keeping up, in a post-Winota world, Wilderness Reclamation and Teferi are the two main players. Wizard of the Coast has never mentioned a spectator mode on any of their public talks about a roadmap. When they put out a loose roadmap last year, spectator mode was not even mentioned. How does one get that UGin avatar? I believe this came with my pre-order. So I think that means you can't get it right now. I think I'm going to mulligan this. It just needs more mana. I guess. Oh, it comes from the Mastery Pass. Okay, so can you still get that then? Yeah, it'll be on the store eventually if you can't get it right now. It's from the Mastery Pass. Okay. So you can get it if you get the Mastery Pass. It's on their roadmap, Pelly. Someone said the 1.17 patch is supposed to add a spectator/tournament mode to Runeterra. So not quite turn 3 Nissa, but we'll have turn 4 Nissa, which is not bad, especially when we have Dispute and Brontodon. It's a little bit of interaction in the meantime. Just gonna go ahead and use my mana here. Force my elf through. They patch every... Do they patch every 2 weeks? I have no idea what their release cycle looks like, if I'm being honest. Oh, there's a new pet. I forgot there was a new pet. I should do that. I'm pretty sure I got that with my pre-purchases. So I waited to play my land tier to find out if that resolved, because if that resolved, I would play my untapped land so it could kill a Wilderness Reclamation, but because it didn't, we'll drop my tapped land down here. Really hoping to draw a forest here, an untapped forest, that way I can play Nissa plus her and hold up Return to Nature. Would Thassa like to intervene once more? Aether Gust. Top it. Top it up. Top it up. Top it up. Beep, beep, doo. Great. Well, they didn't blast on us. Glass half full. Kind of expecting to see this Blast Zone blow up next turn. I think even if they do trade Blast Zone for Elf, I still want to keep the Nissa on top here. She's our best source of pressure in this matchup. Just like makes a 3-3 every turn that kills them fairly quickly. Nissa and UGin are definitely the cards we're looking for in this particular matchup. We see them like hardcast the Shark Typhoon here. We could next turn. That's Damio.
Make an excellent informant for my study. The past is never forgotten.
Anybody else sometimes just feel like their life is going in slow motion? Just swimming upstream? Hold on, folks. I'm gonna do it again. Just another. It's Blur's Day, my dudes.
I think you will find
Yep. Well, if you haven't tried Runeterra, Blue Man, we're going to be playing plenty of that on this channel as well moving forward. Planning to split my time about 50-50. Earl's going to do it. Not beating that one. I think we were in garbage time when they found the Uro. Up until the Uro, we still had a shut there. Like, if we hit a land for the Nissa and we get to pressure their Tamiyo with Nissa, I think it's fine. Yeah, Runeterra's gameplay has been really good. I'm curious to see what the next sub-survey is going to look like, in terms of how many people are interested in subscribing to support that content. Pretty much have to mulligan a hand with no ramp here. With no blue source, I think this also has to go back. Feels bad, man. It's a decent pickup. I think I just do this here, so that way if I draw an untapped land, I can Nissa next turn. It's not mana efficient as doing this, but it gives us the highest potential upside play. Hopefully they go Growth Spiral here into Reclamation next turn, and we get to Return to Nature them. Well, they fixed the companion bug too. Good. Yeah, they did fix the Sparky bug. We saw that. We've not played with the companion, though. A Google Doc with those lists to import and craft investigate are listed in the subscriber Discord server. They're pinned in the Magic Arena channel. However, I held off from doing that because I'm not quite sure what Jumpstart's distribution is going to look like yet. So I'm going to hold on and wait to probably craft cards from Jumpstart, because Jumpstart releases next month. You didn't tweet about changing decks?
I know I noted this somewhere.
I did. Yeah, I'm aware that I did. So I timed them out. Land. Ding, ding, ding. Get at least a turn with this.
Harness the elements. No one asked for your input.
UGin would be a good pickup, assuming Nissa lives. Gunmetal Dragon, thank you for the half a year support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. They plus looking for Aether Gust last turn. We might see them do that again here. And like draw step Gust this to the top of our deck. Yeah, if you have all the commons and uncommons, I believe you get 1.1% vault progress per booster pack. So if you craft all of them before you start and you open 200 packs, you get 2 vaults. That's actually a really good observation, TDM. Part of the reason why UGin feels good is because it's a top end that doesn't get wrecked by color hate cards. I think that's super accurate. That's not something that I really thought about. Definitely missed it, Wargame. Going through and craft them all is not an easy process. It takes forever. It's super easy. There's literally a Google document in the subs Discord that has all the lists of cards in it. You import the list. It takes like sub 5 minutes. I'm sending both of these at Tamiyo because they could Blast Zone to kill this. They could also Shark... Actually, maybe I should send all of them at Tamiyo because of Shark Typhoon. You make a deck and then craft them. Correct. Super easy. Yeah, I think I messed up here, and I should have sent all of these at Tamiyo. They're going to chump block at 3/3 here. That was a mistake.
Aid your research.
Second Uro's really rough because it means this Return to Nature doesn't do anything for us. Can, however, at least destroy that. So down to 12.
This study is over.
They're going to go up to 15 when they escape Uro. And then they block this and take 16. Okay, so just Uro's not enough here. Need Uro plus something else. Thanks for the 2 months, Dark Rib King. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. Good to be back. Great. Blast Zone doesn't do it either because they're only going to 15. They need like an Aether Gust or something here. Aether Gust or Fog. Nissa really showing here why she's one of our best cards in this matchup. Eighth land reclamation would have been brutal. I literally have 2 Thrashing Brontodons in play.
Behold, nature's true power.
We could still lose this. They could like fog us here. Yep. That does it. So they're not out of the woodwork yet, but they could definitely start taking turns next turn and then end us from there. It's unfortunate that we didn't have like an Aether Gust or something there to kill them. Do you get anything special for your 6-month summiversary? I mean, I can't leave you without a present, right? Welcome back, Walker M. Die Spoon, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thumbs up. So if I double block and then they escape another Uro, they go to 8. And then they're still dead. Double blocking is better in the event that they have Nexus of Fate here, which is pretty likely. So because they're still dead, if they just escape the other Uro, I think I block and trade. Block. No, I don't think there's a reason to give them the option to kill my breeding pool. What do they? What's a real card they could have? What's a real card they could have that punishes my block? Brazen Borrower doesn't work. Aether Gust doesn't work. Like what's a magic card they actually play? That triple block plays around. Why should I give up my blue swords?
With my work.
What's going on, Mandalhurst? So if I kill Reclamation, they're no longer dead. Ace Rod, thanks for 3/4 of a year. Welcome back. Nailed it. Hashtag sometimes lucky.
Be wary of the ground.
Oh, hello, girls. How are my 2 favorite girls? Look at my little burrito chat. They came at the perfect time. Whoop. You got hiccups, little girl? Yeah. Whoop. Poor girl. All wrapped up.
I like the way she looks at you.
For those of you that are new to the channel, this is Haley. Haley is, are you 2 weeks old yet? No, not quite. Week and a half. And my lovely wife, of course. They're putting baby burrito emotes in chat for you. We gotta get you your own emote so they can put you in chat, huh? We did share the spelling. H-A-I-L-E-Y. Of the 30 different ways you could spell it. You poor thing. I'm actually really surprised that our deck feels as competitive against Nexus of Fate as it has. I think in the dark, I keep this. We might get run over if they're an aggro deck not having a 1-mana accelerant. Are you and Mommy having a good day? Are the boys behaving?
They're keeping their distance.
The boys don't really like it when Haley cries. They vacate the premises very, very quickly.
She started crying and I heard doors close.
You're always a good baby when you come on stream. You're always a good baby. You're extra good on stream, though. Yeah, this might be, especially being here on the draw, good chance we just get run over before we can do much here if they have a 3-drop.
PX filter out for Nissa.
Yeah, it does actually look like it. It only blips a little bit when she hiccups. Pretty good. I think we're just conceding as opposed to showing them that we're not Nexus of Fate here. Let's pack it up, pack it up, pack it in. We'll get Mystic Disputes and Thrashing Brontodons in here and the extra Hydra. I'm going to trim UGin. I'm going to trim Hydroid Krasis. You doing okay, little miss? What else do you think we should cut? I need 3 cuts, Haley.
Okay, hiccup when Daddy's hovering over the
Right.
What was that?
Oh, you must have bumped the heater.
I mean, have we been using it?
No. It hasn't been used in a while. It's been off to the side. Good idea. That's the safety sensor that it got bumped, so it doesn't turn on. I feel like we're probably supposed to cut some of our top end here. Like some mix of Nissas and Cavalier of Thorns. I feel like I don't want to cut UGin because UGin's kind of our like close the door style finisher. Which is, what do we think's a better 5-drop? Is Nissa a better 5-drop or is Cavalier? I can also just like full on coward split the difference, like cut 2 of these and 1 of these. Nissa generates more bodies, but they're often going to be too small to really do anything super meaningful. Maybe I don't want Nissa because, yeah, Cavalier helps us cast Uro. I'm actually going to bring in 1 Monsters Advocates because it makes 3/3s that don't get my lands killed. Because, like, if my lands are dying, we're not going to get to Ugin, and Ugin's, like, the best end game. Cavalier also fills the graveyard for Uro, which is really nice. This is, like, not amazing, but fine. We're really hoping to draw a third land on 2, so that way we can go Goose, Grazer, put a third land into play. Yeah, the Nissa lands trade with most scroll things, which makes them less than ideal. Perfect. Are you lucky, Haley? Normally I wouldn't hit a land there, but you're here, so we did. No one-drop bodes well for us. The question is, how many Burning Stream series do they have now? Just one. Deal. Do I eat their Llanowar Elf here? I'm gonna make a 3/4 and eat their elf. Cuts them off of Questing Beast this turn.
There's 2 middle burrito emotes now.
There is a burrito middle with Hawk from shared a lot of bits. That was Nivik's request. Aether Gust is not a bad pickup. I can't play a 3-drop and hold up Aether Gust, though. I think we just go ahead and deploy Thrashing Brontodon here as insulation against an Embercleave at this point.
Pick out the clocks on the outside.
They put guac on top of a burrito or something. That's a thing. In, like, real Mexican, like, authentic Mexican restaurant places. I only eat burritos from Chipotle. Okay, with the Cavalier drawn, I'm just going to go ahead and pass here. With the plan being, I will Aether Gust plus make a food this turn, and then we can use the food with the Goose to cast Cavalier next turn. Well, I wanted to Aether Gust the Questing Beast, but I guess we'll do this to blow out the ambush at this point. Do I trade Hydra and Brontodon for Questing Beast at this point? I feel like the answer is probably no, because I can trade Cavalier for it next turn. And, like, the fact that they tried to kill Brontodon there signals they likely have Embercleave in hand, which makes Brontodon more valuable. You getting sleepy? Did you just eat? It's almost nap time. Am I disturbing you? I am kind of loud, I've been told. Oh, poor girl. I'm disappointed by the lack of dad jokes with the baby in the room. Would you like to go upstairs and sleep? I'm not a big enough whale to use some of the emotes.
Say bye.
You say bye to the stream, baby girl?
Say bye-bye. Oh, look how cute she is.
Nothing useful in our bin right now. I guess we'll flip Aether Gust back on top of our deck. We are stomping my Gilded Goose. Sure. I guess I don't want to trade this for a 2/2, huh? I have exactly enough cards in my bin to escape Uro next turn, which probably wins the game. That's how Magic should be, Dark Rogue. If I'm being honest, Historic has a lot of the same problem Standard does right now, but Historic at least has a slightly wider range of decks people will play, so you run into the actual problems a little bit less often. But if we're not kidding ourselves, Historic has a lot of the same issues that Standard does, for sure. All right, one more land and we get to drop UGin here. I agree. The problems that exist in Historic were previously kept in check and are no longer because of their decisions. Could not agree more. Wow, they don't have Embercleave. Interesting. If you're someone that's not happy with Teferi Reclamation, this is going to be our last Magic deck of the day, and then we're going to switch over to some Runeterra. If you've not checked out Runeterra, the game is excellent. It is the closest any non-Magic game's gotten to the feeling that I have playing Magic, maybe ever. They do a lot of things right. The software is really good. Gaffer, thanks for 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Waiting on a land. So I'm attacking with these because I want them to block and put them in my graveyard. Because UGin exiles. So putting those in my bin means that I'm closer to escaping Uro. Goodbye, friends. Scale of 1 to dead. What are we working with here? Dead side of the scale. Got it? You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. The sloth did nothing right. The sloth was an offering, okay? We needed to offer up the sloth. It gave its life for bigger, better things to be happening, okay? Alright, looking for an opening hand with a 1-mana accelerant. Probably gonna mulligan to 7 that doesn't have one. This thing is super reasonable. Has both Grazer, Gust, and these honestly too. It's just all good. It's all good, chat. Not a guaranteed win by any means, but has the makings of everything we're looking to have here. How many Burning Tree Emissaries do you have, opponent? None! You have no Burning Tree emissaries. Mezeep, thank you for the 15 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It's feeling a little windy in here today, chat. Take my ex-wife's money for 15 months. I mean, to be fair, she doesn't pay extra to get that service out of it, so. Untapped land. Well, you know. Yikes. They must have cleave, quite possibly. Don't they always have cleave, chat? It's land adjacent. Kinda. They have Bone Crusher Giant. Wizards of the Coast did Prime Loot once before. They've not said anything about doing drops though. So 17 months, you see. Trust me when I say I don't deserve any of the congrats on the child though. My part was very easy. You can even say I enjoyed it. Feels magic, man. Looking forward to playing a game without resource variants here in a second. Have to draw an untapped land here so we can hold up Brontodon still. They obviously have Ember Cleave based on how they've played these turns. Yeah, it's gonna be our last match, Magic. What a fitting way to die. Whoa! They don't have cleave! Holy crap! Holy crap! Is their deck broken? Should they file? I feel like they should file for compensation. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. Untap land, please. Alright, if we get to untap, we're probably gonna win. If we get one more untap. Hashtag sometimes lucky, chat. We've been screwed this whole game, but they're flooded, it looks like. Block. Did they just draw it, or did they miss that they didn't have a mana last turn? They must have just. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god. Man. This game, chat. This game. What a note to end on, huh? What a note to end on. It's a hard knock life. Do 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 do. I mean, to be fair, they're probably not playing Heroic Intervention to explicitly, hey, by the way, for anybody that was wondering, did the 64-bit patch make the client more responsive or make it stop lagging after 3 hours? The answer is no. The reason why we just got that black screen is because I decided to leave the client running for 3 hours to see if they fixed the memory leak or if it was addressed with this patch today. So turns out I still need to restart the client every 90 minutes, otherwise it lags and stuff. If I'm being honest, this deck was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. I wasn't expecting this deck to feel as good as it felt against Wilderness Reclamation. And I feel like overall that matchup ended up feeling pretty competitive with our post-board plan of like some stack interaction and some enchantment removal. I feel like if I were to play this again, and it feels weird to say this, but like, I don't think this is a good piece of top end. I think I would just cut these and just like lean on UGin and Nissa and these for our top end. I think I want an 11th 1-mana dork in Gilded Goose, and I think, I don't know, maybe another Hydra in here somewhere, but the core of this felt very reasonable overall. Both Cultivate and UGin were phenomenal additions to the ramp archetype. Yeah, maybe just a 27th land is fine. I could see that. Just like add a Zagoth Triome. That could be fine. I don't hate that. It's like a land that cycles when you don't need a land. I think that's probably pretty reasonable. I could even see like with these islands here, we could turn one of these into a blue castle since we're going up a land tier 2. So like do that. We have 7, 8, 9 islands to bring this into play on tap. That could be fine. And this might be a little greedy too with only 7 ways to bring it into play on tap, but you'll definitely get value out of this in some longer games, I think. Thanks for the 13 months, Rising Toast. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I still want Garenberg if there's no Ulamog? That's an interesting question. Maybe, maybe not. It is nice to be able to pump out Hydras. Like, we still have some Hydras at the top end of our curve. Like, in that last game that we just played, you saw there we played, like, Cavalier plus a Dork with it. Was something that could be reasonable. So, I could see there being merit to cutting these because it is pretty important that we have green... turn 1. Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Cultivate's technically color fixing, right? Like this is ramp that finds us the colors that we care about. See, I could see, honestly, with the Cultivate discussion, that kind of makes me want to be greedy. No, I need at least 2 islands, right? Because I need 2 islands to find with Cultivate for that. Yeah, I can't cut another one. But yeah, getting rid of the Castle Garenbergs might make sense to just play more forest to have turn 1 untap more often for these. I could see that being reasonable. The hands where you have like Castle plus Hinterland Harbor as your only lands really suck. And not having untapped green on 1 seems pretty important. So, Historic overall feels like it suffers some of the same things that Standard suffers at the moment. The Reclamation decks and the Teferi decks are really good. And you still get Ember Cleaved out of nowhere on occasion. But that's just kind of like how Magic is until the fall, I think. So, if you're looking for a ramp deck, you're looking to play UGin in Historic, I feel like this seems like a good place to start. I'm going to upload it with no green castles, I think. This will be the list that goes under the YouTube video, but it is what it is. If you're looking to ramp, I think this is a good one. All right, I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get set up and flipped over. We're going to shift gears from Magic to Legends of Runeterra for the remainder of the stream. I'll be back in just a couple of minutes once I get set up. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. If you're a Magic player who hasn't played